Well, hello everyone. My name is MZ Eric. I am a part of the Mech community, and I kind of just wanted to go over some like the offers that you see day to day in the Mech store and what you should be getting and will not be getting if you're inclined to purchase something. Now, bear in mind, I'm not saying that you should. I'm just saying if you feel inclined. I just want to make sure you guys get the best bang for your buck. Now, you can definitely be a free-to-play player and still play this game. It's just extremely difficult, and I always like to time manage and know how cost-effective things are for the real player, and just kind of put into perspective what to expect from this game. Alright, so let's get started. I kind of wanted to start off with the premium currencies just because the game has several ways to like kind of describe what a value for an item is. So let's start off with Acorns. Very simple. This is kind of like the bread and butter of the entire game, besides credits, which we'll go over too. So Acorns is the premium currency that you receive in game through events, purchases, and other stuff. Like you can earn them through little things here and there in the tournament. So that's kind of what Acorns are, and they're premium currency to like kind of buy anything and everything inside the game, except for these guys right here, which are the event tokens, which we'll get to in a bit. So as you can see here, they're valuing their Acorns for $1 for 80. I would say this is bar the lowest that you should that is the Acorn amount per dollar. I highly recommend anytime you see a value at 80 Acorns per dollar, do not get. Just not a thing. The best that I've currently been seeing now is about double that per dollar. So what you want to see is something that's 160 per dollar. So if you see something that says 50% off, typically that is a really good deal. Anything like above 40 for Acorn, 40% is really good. So that's kind of like set for that. So 40%, 50% for Acorns is great. Now for the event tokens, I honestly am not a huge advocate for this either. The blue ones here on the right, these are for the skins, and then the left hand side, I believe this is for Orion. So depending on whether or not you want the mech that badly, then it's up to you. But me personally, I'm not going to invest any of that money for something like that. And as alongside the skins, I don't value the skins that highly. So I mean, completely up to you in terms of that aspect. But I'll tell you this, this is definitely a lot cheaper than the other events that we've had before. Usually the event tokens are about $10, so I'm glad that they're reducing the value of some of these guys to kind of incentivize the people. But as of right now, that's still relatively high, and again, under your discretion, but I personally am not a huge advocate for getting these coins. And then this is by far the worst offer in the game, which are the fortune keys. Fortune keys, I would never, ever, 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 even if you had the money, would purchase this. This is kind of like throwing your money away. It's just for skins, and you only get one amazing, the one high tier vault key. What is it called? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. You only get one 20 cost vault, so I highly, highly, highly would not recommend getting this. This is just a no. And as for the credits, again, this is a currency that you'll see throughout the game. You can earn them relatively with ease just playing the game, so I wouldn't really recommend buying this. The 8 coin conversion rate to credits is typically not worth it, and we'll go over which credits for what value would be the best. So again, for that, I would definitely not go. Same thing for tickets, unless you're really trying to grind a tournament and get more 8 coins for that. That's completely up to you, but tickets are kind of cheap to low value, so consider them just like kind of like trying to pay for Chuck E. Cheese tickets and stuff. And then over here we have the Amateur, Prodigy, and Champions Crate. Again, I wouldn't really recommend something like this. They're valuing the Champions Crate at 2,250 Acorns, and if you look over here, that's literally more than $20, even with the purchase bonus. So right there, they're valuing this Champions Crate at over $20, and you can actually find them on sale for about $7 to $10. So we'll go look into that too. I'll explain more. I'm just kind of going by each processes, and then we can go and explain through that too. This one on the left hand side, the Prodigy crate and the 508 coins, I mean, that's like a half decent deal. It's just kind of like you're getting a bang for your buck, just getting an extra crate honestly. I wouldn't really recommend this. There's several ways that you can go about it, and this is one that I personally think is mediocre. But yeah, it's there for you. It's not a bad one, but it's not a good one either. So anything kind of 50% and above typically gauges like it's a decent, decent offer. Not all the time though, but typically it's a decent offer. And then we're going to go over to the Pilots. Pilots is a new introduction to the game earlier this year in 2022. So you have your advanced plate crate, that's on the left hand side. I wouldn't really recommend going for something like this unless you're late game. When I say late game, every mech that you have is like 6 stars and you're close to already maxing them to 7 stars, and you don't really have much to spend your Acorns on except for implants and scrapping other stuff. As for the implant parts and the pilot marks, I highly recommend waiting again for sales on these guys too. There's actually currently one that I'll show you guys that it's currently available right now that I'm actually going to snag. But implant parts, anything around 40 to 50%, that's usually the highest you'll see. And that is going to be the best bang for your buck. For the pilot marks, I think 33% is the highest. So you should definitely wait for something like that. I would never really just buy these off the rip unless you're extremely desperate. But again, even then, it's not really the best bang for your buck. This is basically a video just showcasing what is the best to use for your currency in game and actual cash dollars. As for these daily deals over here for the pilots, it's really great to start off with some blue implants and then kind of level them up like that, and then you can work your way up to epics and then legendaries. So right here I don't really have anything to do, and then just always keep grabbing these next free implants. As for the refresh implant list, again, that's kind of something for late game. This is something that you would spend just to try to find an implant that you really want later in the game. So I wouldn't really do this unless you have an abundance of Acorns, you're kind of in the late game stages, and you just really need those implants. So those are the premium pilots shop, and then let's go to the flash deal. This is kind of like the meat and potatoes. So I'm not going to start quite over there. I'm going to start over here. On the daily deals, this is a great way to get a lot of the mechs and the weapons that you want blueprints. So I typically always try to go for almost every mech blueprints possible, just because those are typically a little bit harder to get, and then for the weapons that you personally want. So obviously I'm not really looking into the thermal lances today, so I'm not grabbing them, and I actually don't use any of the javelin racks either. But it's always great to grab these steel crates as well. As far as the skin goes, again, I don't highly recommend doing it. These skins are highly overvalued. They think that they're actually giving it to you at a pretty moderate rate, but they're not. These are very excessively expensive. I do not recommend this. There's other ways you can earn them through the game, especially with fortune keys. As for the upgrade packs, this is just something because I do have an almost maxed out kill shot, and something like this I kind of don't really recommend. 120 of the kill shot. I always put the value of a blueprint for an uncommon mech about 4, so they're valuing this at about 500 Acorns plus 60,000 credits. So it's kind of like a subpar deal where it's not too bad, but it's not horrible. So again, it's something if you really want, then yeah, go ahead, but me personally, I'm not going to go for it. And then this Acorn $50 off bundle, this is actually not bad. So if we do the math right here, you're getting 160 Acorns per dollar. So this is actually something if you're wanting to again spend for, then yeah, this would be great. Again, under your discretion if you want to. But again, it doesn't really get much better than this anymore. They've kind of changed the whole dynamic of the value of Acorn and how much percentage you get off. But anytime you see 50% off for an Acorn, just know it's the best that you're going to get. As for the event tokens, again, I'm not interested, and it's a high price tag just to get Orion, like $100. That's way too much. Same thing goes for this. This is a little bit less. So you're getting more blueprints but less credits, so that's actually not horrible. But at the same time, you're seeing what you value more: the value of blueprints or the value of credits. So it's again where you're at. It's dependent on that. And I think this is a really interesting offer right here too. The Redox Mech recently just came into an event for, I think it's just 300 Acorns, so again, not really that amazing. But when you see it right here, the higher level you want it for, there's a higher percentage discount. So $32 for Redux, that's actually kind of phenomenal. If you were to get the price of Redux currently right now, I think he's at like 8,000. So that's already like at a 50% off Acorn. That's still $28 cheaper. But if you were to do that into the actual relative value of what it is naturally, that'd be around like $70 purchase. So again, yeah, they say right there 65. So again, even at best Acorn value, you're still saving about 28 bucks. So I think this is a phenomenal offer if you really want to get Redux into your hanger. It's not bad to get the lower one as well, but just bear in mind for the additional $8, you're getting another star level. That's a lot of blueprints, credits, and Acorns that you're saving. So just bear that in mind. So this is definitely, I would say, it's a great deal if you really want Redux into your hanger. Me personally, he's just not something in my late game kit, so I'm not adding him on to my roster. But again, either one of these offers is great. So this is a phenomenal. You usually don't see 40 to 50% off on mechs. And then let's go to the Echelon real quick. I'll save the 4th of July deal for last. I personally think that this is a great deal. It even says best price on the left hand side. Again, like I said, 33% is going to be the highest for the Echelon pack. It comes at $4 instead of a $6 value, which is great. If you compare it to the rest, like $1,500, so that's like again like $6. So you're saving $2 and getting $1,500. I also like to put it into perspective. You get about 100 pilot marks per, I believe, I want to say a day, so 100 pilot marks per day. So this is like 15 days saved of gameplay if you're playing very consistently. So for $4 you get like an additional doubled up on your pilot marks. So for me, this is something critical because I do have some legendary mechs, so I'll definitely be snagging something like that. And as for the 4th of July pack, I think this is absolutely amazing. I mean, just the champion crates alone, even at the cheapest, even at the highest discount rate, which would make it a $7 value, that's $21 to 300,000 credits. Absolutely phenomenal. Credits are just such a high commodity and scarcity in the game, so that's phenomenal. And the 3,000 Acorns, and 3,000 Acorns, if we value it at 160, I believe you're getting it for about close to like $20 value right there. It's like a close to $20 value. Let's do our math real quick, actually. 3,000 divided by 160. So it's about, yeah, close to $20. It's about $18.75 if we divide that by 160, which is like the best rate. And that's what we always want to obtain, right? So right there alone, you're getting like a $19 value. We'll just round it up to 20, plus the Champions crate, which is a $21 value, which we'll round to 20 because we did that with the Acorn. So that's already a $40 value at an amazing rate. The 300,000 credits, and then we'll go over how much credits cost. But typically, I think they overvalue how much credits cost because it is difficult. And it's hard to gauge how much you really charge credits. But let's just say that's another. Let's see, how much was credits for 300,000 over here? Let's just use this as reference. 3,000. So we'll just say it's another 3,000 Acorns. So that's 3,600, and then each one of these is valued at 2,250. So if you really want to, let's just say this is a 60. I'll just say like $65 value at its best rate. Which is not too far off from like half off from 158. But they're just saying it's higher because they value the Champions crate at a higher rate. The gold tickets is just kind of there to fill space. But again, at the end of the day, this is a phenomenal deal. I'm definitely going to be picking something up like this. And I highly recommend, if you're looking at a deal or something to put your money into this game, this would be it, honestly. So yeah, definitely get something like that. So now that we went over everything that's inside the store, let's look at other things to take into account. So this is my hanger, and I always want to preference this too, that the season pass is just a must if you're even going to consider anything. It is hands down just the best offer that the game has to give. When you look at the gold pass, it just has everything you have to offer. It has all the skins. So even if you don't want it, like, skins are, again, still have relative value to them, and you get one for every single mech. Not only that, you get literally about 820,000 Acorns. Let me see if I'm gonna see if I have the screenshot of it. One moment. So this is what I have right here, which was the gold pass offer. So if you take a look, you get 19 unique skins. So it's 18 plus the legendary one. You get 1,000 Acorns. You hit 500k stash. You get an XP boost to progress on the progress path, which is relatively important if you're low level. 322,000 extra credits, 324 blueprints, which is phenomenal. That's about half a champion's crate. 22 amateur crates, 6 of those gold crates, and then I think it's like 7 or so of the silver crates. So overall, you're getting, I would have to, like, it's 822,000 credits. That's phenomenal. This is like the best value per credits possible. So I definitely encourage, if you're going to get anything with any monetary value, 100% go for the battle pass. It is definitely, by far, bar none, the best bang for your buck that the game has to offer. So, and you're going to want the credits, especially during the late game stages. You're going to want like Brick House or other things that you want to max out certain mechs. That's going to be kind of like the bottleneck when you get there. You'd think it's Acorns, but it's not. It's actually the credits. So again, I highly recommend it. I don't really recommend the plus 15 levels, because you can just play passively and get there. I mean, I do. I play pretty passively, but still consistently, and I get there. So again, like I said, that'd probably be the best for what you can do. Now let's go over the value of credits. So credits is kind of like a finicky way to really price tag, because the battle pass kind of skews the whole value of it, because you get 822k credits, like, and they're putting over here that 800k credits is $50, whereas in the battle pass you get it for $10 plus all that other content. And that's why I'm even telling you, look, they're pricing it at a 50% off, and you know, this is an incredible deal still nonetheless. But you're getting that at the battle pass for literally $10 plus all the skins, plus the Acorns, plus the XP boost, you know, XYZ. It just has the highest bar. I know we're talking about credits, but I just really wanted to highlight the battle pass. Very encouraged. And then let's just start with the bottom portion, which is right here. So 120,000 credits for about $10. And that, I would say, really isn't incentivizing. I wouldn't really recommend anyone going for that unless you really want to. It's just kind of like a subpar deal. Once you start getting to these two right here, the massive ones, like I said, 50% and higher, that's when you actually start getting your values worth. But then again, it's a little bit daunting to put 50 to 70 into something like this, especially for a free-to-play game. So just bear that in mind when it comes to credits. Like, you do want to see a 50 to 70%, and I don't really encourage buying this unless you're like a whale or someone who's in the later stages of the game and really wants to upgrade a specific weapon or mech. So yeah, just be patient with the battle pass. Eventually you get there passively with time. So yeah, but this would be like the best deals for credits. And then over here, I was able to find a double champions crate for about 20, so that's actually pretty good. It says 64% off, which is a pretty good deal. Anything that's a $10 champion crate and less is actually really good. I almost personally got it, but then I ended up not. And then the upgrade pack, I never really go for these. They seem like it'd be good, but honestly, you could just Acoin or find them in the shop and eventually get it. I also have the carbine in here. It's actually almost always worth going for full buy on the carbine through the shop like this with the percentage off versus actually buying it with Acorns. And then more skins. Again, you guys know how I feel about purchasing skins. Not really something that I encourage. And then these are just some more offers. Again, if you feel like you're going to be using pulse cannon 8s or rocket mortar 10s, feel free to do so. I had purchased the shotguns 8 because that's my premium weapon that I use. And then this is actually very critical here. This is the only time I really encourage, if you're going to get Acorns or you're going to purchase Acorns, this is the time to do it. They kind of double up the value of the initial amount. The $1 and the highest dollar amount is definitely the best to notate here, because you're getting a full 160 Acorns per dollar. When you start kind of going into, like, let's say the $5, that's a 560 divided by 5, so you're only getting like 110. So it's not as great, but you're still getting more than you typically would. Even then, with the $10, if you were to divide that by, you know, the $10 value of 1,200 Acorns, that's 120, and so on and so forth. 2,600 for 20, I think that's again like 110ish, 120. 7,000 for 50, I think that's like 135. So again, the 1 and the 100 would be the one that gets the most value out of that. Again, event tokens, I don't really encourage it. Desperately overpriced. Fortune keys that we already went over, that's a complete no-no. So this is kind of like the area that I just kind of stay away from, and the general public really should too, unless again you really want that weapon or mech or skin or whatever, pilot. Yeah, I went over this as well. And then here's another one. This is a good example of like getting your money's worth. The Prime Pack is kind of like a subpar offer. You get 2,500 Acorns, which is about 20 bucks, and then the champions, we pack the two of them, is about 20, so that's 40, and the 100k credits is about 10 as well. So this is like kind of on the money on that 50%. So this isn't bad if you kind of want something that's all around. You do get your values worth for that. The pilot pack that's shown right there is actually a pretty incredible offer. Each one of those advanced implant crates goes for about $13.70. So if you did the math, you're looking at around 4,000 or so for those implant crates right there. So 4,000 credits, I mean, that's already, you're getting way more than what your money's worth there. And then just kind of toss in some scrap and pilot marks. So again, that's a pretty good offer if you wanted to go for like something that's in the pilot range. Again, and I've already told you how I feel about like the weapon rank packs and stuff. I don't really encourage that, even though they say like hot deal or whatever. It's just not really incentivizing. It's nice that you get like a kit for it, but it's only one rank and you're not even duplicating the weapon. Weapons get duplicated for a majority of them at 6 stars. Cheated 31%, that's not bad if you were to compare it into the game. I think it's like 4,000 Acorns, so that's pretty good if you wanted to get them. Yeah. Oh, and then this is the one that I was talking about, the 40% off the technician pack. So this is something that's actually a very good value. I wouldn't really start getting any of these scraps unless it was valued at this. And yeah, I think that's it. The technician pack, and there was another one that's like 50% off for 15,000 scrap. I think that one's a really amazing bang for your buck. So I would wait for like a 40 or 50% off for that. And like I mentioned before, you know, this is definitely not a bad deal if you're trying to rank up your pilots, because it is definitely bottlenecked through the game. When you go in here with the daily and weekly, the pilot dailies, you only get about 100 to 110. You can get a 110 if you just buy one more implant, and then you can get this prize right here, the 10 pilot marks. So yeah, that's about it. I think I went over everything. If you guys have any questions on any of these offers or anything about how you should be spending your credits or Acorns, XYZ, please feel free to just leave them in the comments. I'd be more than happy to answer. I hope this was knowledgeable enough for you guys to make pretty good decisions on what you guys wanted to do with your hanger and whatnot, and what you guys wanted to do with the currency inside the game, whether it be credits, Acorns, pilot marks, scrap, etc. But this is what I'm personally rocking right now. I'm going to be making some drastic changes in the near future, but for right now, this is the hanger. I can showcase this in a different video, but I just wanted to share that. Alright guys, thanks so much, and you guys have a wonderful one. Take care.